Ever feel like you're constantly putting out fires instead of growing your business? I know that feeling all too well. When I first started working with trades and services businesses, I was putting in endless hours trying to keep everything running smoothly. I was constantly repeating myself, getting interrupted dozens of times a day, feeling more like a babysitter than a business owner. But here's what I discovered. Most of these headaches came down to 5 specific communication mistakes. Fix these and you'll get hours of your life back. Let me share what these mistakes are, and more importantly, how to fix them. The first mistake I see everywhere is thinking we've communicated when we really haven't. Here's what usually happens. Boss gives an instruction. The employee nods. Boss assumes they understand. And then the task gets done wrong. And everyone ends up frustrated. Sound familiar? Here's the reality. When we say something, we're actually hearing it twice. Once when we say it, and once in our head. But our team, they're hearing it for the first time. Let me share a quick story. Just last month, I was working with a plumbing business owner who was ready to fire his entire team because they never listened. It turns out he was the one who wasn't listening. Now there's a simple solution to this. Ask them to repeat back what you said. Welcome questions and confirm they understand. And here's the simple fix that changed everything. I taught him what I call the 30-second feedback loop. After giving instructions, just ask, could you tell me how you're planning to handle this? That's it. No complicated systems, no lengthy meetings, just one question. Before, 5 mistakes, 2 hours of fixing. After, 1 question, 30 seconds. Within 2 weeks, his corrections dropped by 70%. But here's the real win. His team started coming up with better ways to do things because now they actually understood what needed to be done. Think about it. How much time are you spending fixing miscommunications right now? And how much of your day could you get back with this one simple change? Now that leads us to our second mistake. You're either drowning in meetings or running a business where nobody knows what's happening. Let me guess, you've tried both extremes. Too many meetings, everyone's frustrated. No meetings, everyone's confused. Here's what I learned the hard way. The solution isn't about having more meetings or fewer meetings, it's about having the right meetings. Let me share what worked for me and countless business owners I've worked with. We call it the 3-2-1 meeting formula. 3 times a week, 2 key questions, 1 action item. Here's exactly how it works. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 15 minutes standing up. Yes, standing up. Because when people get comfortable, meetings get long. So here's the flow of the meeting. What's happening today? Where do you need help? What are the next steps? Here's the magic part. When someone says they need help, you don't solve it right there. You just schedule a quick one-on-one. This keeps the meeting moving and prevents those endless side conversations. I had a client, an electrician, who tried this. His first reaction? This will never work. We have too much to discuss. What actually happened? Less interruptions, faster solutions, more team ownership. 2 weeks later, he told me something interesting. His team was solving problems without him because now they knew who was doing what and who could help. And this leads us to our third mistake. Ever catch yourself thinking, why can't they just figure it out? I hear this all the time from business owners, and I used to say the exact same thing. Here's the problem. Let's use a game analogy. So there's players on the field, but there's no rule book. So everyone's playing a different game. Imagine trying to play football without knowing the rules. That's what we do to our teams every day. Let me share a quick example. I was working with a bookkeeper who was frustrated because her team kept making obvious mistakes. When I asked her team what perfect looked like, I got 5 different answers. So here's a solution framework. Clear expectations, written procedures, and success metrics. Here's the simple fix we used. We created what I called success snapshots. Like a picture. Think of it like taking a picture of what great looks like for each key task. So a success snapshot shows what good looks like, what great looks like, and what perfect looks like. But here's the interesting part. We didn't write these. The team did. Because when your team defines success, they own it. And when they own it, you don't have to manage it. The bookkeeper's team came up with the standards that were actually higher than what she would have set. Why? Because they wanted to be proud of their work. So the results ended up with fewer questions, better quality, more initiative. Within a month, she stopped checking their work entirely. But this only works if you avoid mistake number 4. You've probably heard, it's just business, nothing personal. Let me be direct. That's completely wrong. Business is entirely personal because it's built on people. What we call wall building is professional distance, formal relationships, and missing connections. Here's what happens when we keep everything strictly professional. People stop sharing ideas. They stop caring. They start looking for other jobs. Let me share something that changed my entire approach. I used to start every meeting with let's get down to business. Now, I start with how was your weekend? How was your day? Creating simple connections inside of morning coffee chats, team lunch breaks, quick check-ins. And here's what surprised me. Those 5-minute conversations saved me hours of problems later. Because when people feel connected, they don't just report problems, they bring solutions. And the best part, it doesn't take extra time. Use the natural moments, the coffee breaks, walking to meetings, start of day chats. Just use the time you already have differently. But there's one warning. This has to be genuine. People can spot fake interest a mile away. Which brings us to our final mistake. Allowing excuses to become your culture. We have to transition from relationships to accountability. And this is where everything comes together. You know what the most dangerous phrase in business is? That's just how it is. Sound familiar? That's how this industry works. You can't find good people anymore. Customers always complain. It's a cycle. A problem occurs, an excuse is made, so nothing changes, and the problem repeats. Now here's what nobody talks about. Every excuse you accept becomes a standard you set. Let me share a personal story that taught me this the hard way. I used to accept we're too busy as a reason for mistakes. Want to guess what happened? More mistakes. More busy excuses. less improvement. Until one day something changed. I started asking one simple question. What can we do differently next time? Wow. Not why did this happen, but what can we do differently? That tiny shift changed everything. Now we were solution focused. Problems became opportunities. Excuses became ideas. And instead of blame, we got growth. Because now we weren't looking for who to blame. We were looking for how to improve. And here's what happens when you combine all 5 of these fixes. Clear communication, effective meetings, defined expectations, real relationships, and a solution focus. You get your time back. Your team steps up, and you can finally focus on growing your business instead of putting out fires. Just click the link in the description below to get your free guide. And here's why I made it free. Because I've been where you are. I know what it's like to feel stuck in the day-to-day chaos. And I believe every business owner deserves the chance to build a team that works as hard as they do. While you're here, let me know in the comments which of these 5 mistakes hit home for you. I read every comment and respond personally. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll tackle 5 more critical team building mistakes. Take care.